Hey guys, Virgil here with crzycybr, and in today's video, we're going to turn this into this. I'd like to introduce you guys to the crzycybr giveaway laptop. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so if you've been watching the channel and the last couple 3D print build series videos, you know that I'm doing a laptop giveaway with the cheapest entry cost of any giveaway on YouTube. And there's a zero cost way to enter and a $1 entry fee if you want to do a paid entry. So sitting on my desk is an HP Envy X360. It has an Intel Core i7 106 5G7 processor, 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, Intel Iris Xe integrated graphics, and a 1 terabyte M.2 SSD, as well as a lot of other useful features like touchscreen, built-in SD card reader, and plenty of ports for all your creative needs. This is the machine that I'm going to be building in this series and giving away to one of my subscribers as a way of saying thank you. There are two ways to enter the giveaway, which is open to any country that can receive mail from the United States. The first rule of the giveaway is that you must be subscribed to the channel to win. The first way to enter is to send $1 US to any of the payment methods listed in the description. The Monero address, PayPal address, or Cashapp. Now, an important note is that if you select Monero, make sure you put your name in the transaction description form when you're sending your entry. I already had someone send Monero and they didn't do this, even though I already said to make sure you put your name. So I had to track them down, but they're entered and it's good to go. So anyone who sends the $1 entry to any of the payment methods is entered into the giveaway to win. The second way to enter the giveaway is the free way, which is subscribe to the channel, comment on and like all long-form videos and 10 shorts, and then share 3 videos, and then boom, you're entered. And after you've done this, your name will be added to the list of entries. Now, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be hiring a sweepstakes company to do this, or I'm just going to be writing a simple Python program that will randomly select a winner from the list. It really kind of depends on how many entries there are. If I get more than, 60 entries, we'll probably go with the sweepstakes company. I'll film the entire process to make sure you guys know that there's no funny business. And once the winner is selected, the laptop will be shipped or given if somehow by chance they end up being local. And I'm going to include some custom artwork and potentially a t-shirt as well. And if I do go the Python route to decide the winner, I'm going to film the entire process, all the way from writing the simple code to, hitting that play button in PyCharm and the winner being selected, so everybody knows that there's no funny business. I'll scroll through the whole program so you guys know there's nothing hidden at the bottom. I'm an honest guy. I always pride myself on honesty. I think it's unfortunately a dying virtue in this world. So I just want to show everybody that there is zero funny business with this. The winner will be random, and they will be getting this laptop, and they will be using it shortly after they're selected. So with all that out of the way, let's start the build. Okay guys, so now let's start the actual build of this beautiful machine. So the first thing that I'm going to do real quick here is I'm going to take a horsehair detail brush, and I'm just going to make sure everything is completely clean. And once I do that, I'm going to need to get rid of this nonsense here from the stickers. So we'll take some alcohol or another solvent and we'll get this thing completely clean and ready for paint, which could end up being just sanding this smooth real quick with some high grit sandpaper. The next thing that we're going to do is prep the battery to receive the custom artwork. And so what we'll do with that is we are just going to place a very, very light coat of breathable acrylic paint. Now, I wasn't sure that this was going to be okay to do, and so I researched this very thoroughly. And everyone from ChatGPT to Google to pretty much everything else I saw online said that it's okay to paint it with acrylic. Acrylic is breathable, but you cannot seal it with an epoxy or anything like that, which is impermeable. So this receiving the artwork will be okay, and just in case, I'll be sending along an extra battery to the owner in case, God forbid, something happens. They'll be able to simply unplug it, undo the 4 bolts, and then just pop it out, throw in a new battery, and they'll be back in the game. I don't think it's going to end up coming to that, but we want to make sure whoever wins this laptop has everything they need, because as I mentioned before, the purpose of this entire thing is so that this powerful machine can end up in the hands of somebody who wouldn't normally be able to afford it. So let's get started. Let's pull this battery out. Okay, we have our precision screwdriver kit. It comes in this nice little case. I've used this thing so many times it's not even funny, and it's probably the best kit for the price. This will be linked down in the description. 0-bit. We got a bolt here. And there is our battery that we are going to be painting. I'm going to place it on my cutting mat here. So I think the first thing we're going to do in order is the prep. So the next thing, we're going to go get some alcohol, and we're going to try to remove this residue from the sticker that was on it, and we're going to see how that goes with the alcohol. If we have to move straight to sandpaper, we will, but then everything will be prepped and ready for paint. Okay, I've got my razor blade here. Let's see how that works. I believe that no matter how well we get this with the razor blade, we're most likely going to have to use sandpaper. Okay guys, I'm back with my rubbing alcohol. This pressurized container is completely full of 91%. I have 220 grit New Age sandpaper here and 400 grit classic sandpaper. Now we're going to start with the 400 grit and hope that it's enough. And of course, after we're done sanding, we're going to re-clean the entire motherboard. Let's see what happens. But now we're going to hit this. And in order to avoid causing potential problems, we're gonna tape around all the black so that if I hit it with the sandpaper, it won't remove the coating, it'll just damage the tape. Beautiful. Okay guys, back after I cleaned it off with compressed air in the factory. So we're gonna take some of our 91% on a paper towel. We're just gonna wipe down our surfaces that we're gonna get painted. And the best thing about using the sandpaper to remove those scratches is that we now have a good surface for the paint to adhere to, especially on the metal. And that's good for us. Now this copper, we're gonna end up polishing that with metal polish and a wheel on a Dremel. Okay guys, we are back on the desk and we are getting ready to paint. Here is the colored in design and this is what we're going for. With the final design on the various components. Now I have all of the paints that I need here, and any paint, that color that I specifically don't have a bottle of, I'll be able to mix to make it. And my artwork usually uses greens, purples, black, white, red, stuff like that. So this design is right along with my normal artwork. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the battery because it's the hardest. We're gonna lay down a black base coat, and using a white pencil, we will outline the sketch to use as our guide for painting. So let's lay down a black base coat on our battery. Okay guys, we are back at it. An hour later, everything is completely dry, beautiful, good to go. Got my white pencil here, and I'm going to move the PC out of the way because what we need to do now is transfer our reference image over to the battery. Now, the best part about this is that I did this exact size, right? Apparently a little smaller. So I should be able to basically just line these two up here and then just transfer it as we go. So this is gonna be a fun project. I love me some artwork. I'm gonna go ahead and sharpen my pencil and we're gonna get to it. Back with the Celsius Blue Raspberry Lemonade. Best flavor ever. Celsius, please sponsor ya boy. I drink 4 of these a day. Hell. There is the color reference. I have the general shapes. I'm gonna lay down some paint, dude. I'm gonna lay down some paint. Gonna have to do 1,000 coats of that. So let's start laying down our base tone. Got our bases on. America, heck yeah. I'm gonna say my brain comes to the edge very closely here, so we'll go, and it stops here. So we're looking at like this. So yep, made it too big, way too big. Now here's the problem, I can't just, can I? Oh, hell yeah. Do you even do art if you don't use whatever clothing you're wearing at the time to web stuff? This we're gonna have to work on. I'm gonna have to put another coat of black. And then instead of trying to freehand it, we'll do what we did with the skull, and we'll kind of, you know, make a line at the top of his head, make a line at the eye line, bottom of the eye line, top of the lip, you know, just that way at least we can draw within a guide for where our proportions need to end up. So unfortunately now I have to let this dry, which means that my paint in this palette is probably going to dry too, but it is what it is. Don't mind wasting a little paint to achieve the result I want. Okay, so here's the color reference, guys. I brought the proportions directly into Illustrator and then just drew on the template that I made. But I really like the way that the rat came out. I want this giveaway laptop to be badass, so I'm gonna do the best art that I possibly can. But it's a fun project. I'm really enjoying doing this, but I'm also extremely excited to build that see-through bottom panel. I'm very excited for that. All right, guys, we are back at it. Well, I was letting the paint dry. I ran to my local Michael's and I picked up some supplies. The Poscas being the paste de resistance, because they're the highest quality. But I also got some Craft Smart. These are all black liners, so we'll use these to line everything. And I got the fine tip white liner, which we will use to outline the robot like it is in the artwork. Now these reds in the eyes of the robot are to imitate camera lenses, but I think I made the mistake of when I was doing this artwork on the tablet, I can zoom in infinitely, right? I can put as much detail as I want in any one thing down to the pixel. And the issue with that is I can't do that here. And I was trying to keep in mind that I would be painting this, but apparently I didn't do a very good job of that because yeah. I love the painterly look of that. It looks super cool to me. Hopefully you guys think so too. See it right here? That is all I need, ladies and gentlemen. I can't, my hand, I gotta go clean off my hand. I don't want to smudge all over the artwork. See, we need the fine point to do the eyes and realistically to do the worm, because the worm gets that white outline, and I don't want to go over this with the thick black line because there's no way I'll be able to put in the detail of like the bottom lip or the eyes of the worm. But what I can do real quick is put the white where the worm's teeth are. Alright guys, back at it. Paint dry, we're going over the white. Heck yeah! Okay, so a couple of you might be wondering why I did it like this. And my theory was that when you take the laptop out of your bag with your custom see-through panel, set it down like this, lean it back, and then open. So I did it that way so that the rat would be facing you as you pulled the laptop open. So now we need to do our artwork here, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do the very simple artwork on the fan. Okay. So while that spins, that will create a cool hypnotic effect. Well, we're going to do the checkerboard pattern. Alright guys, there you have it. The artwork for the crzycybr giveaway laptop is done. I had a blast with this project. It was a lot of fun to do some artwork that was, more tech related, and a project that's eventually going to end up in the hands of one of you guys. I hope you guys like the artwork. I put a lot of time into the design itself, as well as doing the actual artwork. I mean, obviously when you watch the video, it looks like it took 40 minutes, but it probably took close to 20 or 30 hours altogether. This has been the first part of the video. The artwork's done. We are going to be, in the next video in the series, fabricating the custom see-through acrylic panel, which is going to allow the artwork to be on display and add a really cool visual element to this build, as well as doing something that I think needs to come back in full force, which is the glory of the 90s see-through electronics. So one of the goals of the channel is to add that into future projects where we can. I think it adds a really cool visual element and a very large aesthetic appeal to whatever it is you're building. I've always been the type of person who loves to see the inner workings of things, and I really like that aspect when someone can incorporate that into a build. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want this laptop, be sure to get entered. You can do it the free way or the paid way, which is only $1. And I can't wait to see who wins this machine. We'll be announcing all the details of the drawing after the build is complete. It's taken a little bit longer than I thought it would, but we're making progress and we're getting to it. And very soon, one of you guys will have this machine in your possession, and you'll be able to do whatever you want on it. So I hope you guys have a good afternoon, a good night, good evening, good morning, whenever you're watching us. Stay creative, stay sharp, and I'll see you guys in the future.